Static on the glass. Yeah. Static on the glass. Clash reflects the ghost. Ghost decide to steal. Steal is what I trust the most. Most of y'all are sleeping. Sleeping while I'm creeping. Creeping through the gutters where the secret's keeping. Keeping my composure. Closure in the exposure. Exposure to the elements and test of my enclosure. Enclosure is the cabin. Cabin in the rain. Rain is just the solvent for the polluted brain. I'm hydroplaning over memories of 95. The only time I truly felt the city was alive. The headlights cut the water like a liquid Mercury knife, dissecting the anatomy of this Brooklyn life. I see the reflections dancing on the white asphalt. Every skid and every slide is my own bare fault. The wipers are the metronomes, swing you back and forth. Guiding this metallic vessel strictly to the north. From the projects to the penthouses, it's all the same wash. Right beneath the tires, you can hear the dream squash. Combustion in the cylinder, industrial philosophy, cynical velocity and optical atrocity. I'm monitoring the rhythm, honoring the algorithm, squandering the vision in the pondering collision. Mechanical, satanic, botanical, or panic, tyrannical, organic. The dynamic is volcanic. I'm the fuel injector, the bull protector, the bull defector, a dual sector inspector. We're back in the deep end, diving through the flood with the oil of the city mixing in with the blood. I'm navigating the shit through the dark Atlantic path, taking every single piece of the soul I can have. It's the 12-bit gospel, the sermon of the grime, frozen in the pocket of the different space and time. Brooklyn DNA, the double helix and the real, transforming the spirit into the page of cold steel. So let the rain wash the tires until the rubber turns gray. I'll be driving through the liquid till the break of the day. The city is a mirror and it's staring back at me, asking who I'm really supposed to be. One hand on the shifter, one hand on the heart, tearing the silence of the midnight apart. Liquid mercury, we're sliding through the vein, finding our peace in the middle of the rain. It's the metropolitan monopoly, honestly no apology. A constellation policy and properly seeking sovereignty. I'm navigating and gravitating, mastering the calculating, captivating and saturating, never hesitating. The rhythm is a prism, a schism, a lyricism, a vision of precision in the collision of magnetism.
We're just shadows in the neon light, chasing echoes through the Brooklyn night. The symphony plays on the street, in every heartbeat, in every beat.
The bodega light is a beacon for the night shift crew, doing exactly what they gotta do to make it through. I see the tired eyes reflecting in the storefront glass, watching the ghosts of their ambitions start to pass. No handouts here, just the callus on the palm of the hand, building the legacy on the shifting Brooklyn sand. I'm writing scriptures on the back of a receipt, trying to find the melody in the middle of the street. It's the DNA of the dreamers, the ones who never quit, finding the diamond in the middle of the grid. Cerebral legal, the eagle is regal, the sequel to the evil is legal and unequal. I'm the navigator, the data translator, the radiator, hissing like a traitor, instigator. Check the pressure, the measure of the treasure is the leisure, the seizure of the pleasure in the race ahead closure. I'm mapping the longitude, scrapping the attitude, rapping the solitude, and then clapping the gratitude. hustle, combining the power of the mind with the strength of the muscle, the pads of the ocean, the drums of the shore, and I'm a captain knocking on the industry door. It's the SD 1200, the soul of the 94, giving the people what they've been hungry for. Brooklyn DNA, the frequency of the grave, taking all the secret to the borough, to the grave.
Symphony, so sweet. Stay focused. Watch the path swell. 7 8. We're in the light now.
One light, one night, one strike. Dark alley, Park Valley, sharp tally, spark rally. Ride steady, grind ready, find heavy line 80. Cold shoulder, old soldier, old folder, hold boulder. Now I'm navigating the shattered, gravitating the matters. The patter of the rain scatters the brain and the platters. I'm a monumental, mental, instrumental and gentle, but transcendental, mental and the fundamental temple is the frequency of the decency. Recently in the sequency, fluently and truantly, pursuantly to the lucency.
Can you feel the pulse underneath the steel? The city never sleeps.
Live on the reals, what is real? I see the steam rising from the manhole like a white flag, while the wind tosses around the tattered plastic bag. This ain't the movies, it's the texture of the actual, where the struggle for the balance is more than just factual. I see the night shift workers waiting for the B-41 before the moon retires and we see the morning sun. No glitz, no glamour, just the hammer of the routine, trying to keep the spirit and the conscience tween. It's the DNA of the borough, the marrow and the bone, the silent understanding that you're never truly alone. Metaphorical, oracle, historical, rhetorical, categorical, deplorable, a story so adorable. I'm regulating the valve, calculating the solve, manipulating the salve while the problems evolve. Cerebral cathedrals, illegal needles and rebel people. The sequel to the evil is lethal. It's unequal, I'm the navigator, the data translator, the radiator, hissing like a traitor instigator.
And we're back in the pulse. And we're back in the pulse.
And we're back in the pulse. Think a heartbeat of the concrete, where the lions and the sheep are forced to finally meet. The flute is the warning, the bass is the wake, and I'm the one deciding the time into my fate. It's the SP-1200, the great in the shadow, winning every war and surviving every battle. But bling DNA, it's the code in the vein, vine in the sunshine in the middle of the rain. So let the heartbeat fade into the distance of the street, until the asphalt and upper rise and finally meet. One hand on the pulse, one hand on the truth, spending all my wisdom to honor my youth. The concrete pulse that never really stops, even when the final heavy curtain drops.
Can you hear it? It's in the walls. 718. DNA.
I'm standing by the gate when the candles are weeping, watching the secrets that the neighborhood's keeping. The wax is melting into the cracks of the block, towering its sorrow to the ticking of the clock. I see at any bottle filled with wilting flowers, a tribute to the brother who counted his hours. There's a cardboard sign tower, dirty string, rest in power to the king who had everything. I see the pigeons circling the empty lot, where the memory is cold but the pavement is hot. No pity, just the silence of a stolen life, cutting through the air like a serrated knife. I put a little on the ground for the loss, calculating the value in the heavy set cost. The city moves on, but this corner stays still, a permanent monument to a shattered will.
A corner memorial is glowing in the dark. I'd leave it given a heavy and permanent mark. I remember when you played in the hide and spray before the innocence started to wither away. He had a smile that could light up the darkest hall. Now his face is just spray paint on a brick wall. I watch the steps, but the stain never leaves, while the entire borough just sits and grieves. We built him a throne out of plastic and glass, watching the ghosts of his ambition pass. It's a Brooklyn lullaby, heavy and deep for the ones who were destined to never sleep. I touch the photo, it's cold to the hand, a piece of the future that slipped through the sand.
Another name on the list,
Another soul in the mist,
another fist in the air.
another silent prayer.
They took the body,
but they left the spirit.
The truth is loud if you're willing to hear it.
From the sky to the shore,
Behind the locked doors,
the struggle is ours.
if victory is yours,
The DNA is the blood in the bone.
a masterpiece of tragedy that we call our own.
The corner memorial is glowing in the dark. Even a heavy and permanent mark. Can you hear the weeping? Can you feel the beat? One more candle for the kings of the street.
Rest easy, son.
We won't forget. We won't forget.
Yeah.
We won't forget. We won't forget.
The foundation. Yeah. The pavement's a statement, a placement, a basement, a vacant replacement, avoiding effacement. I'm mapping the longitude, scrapping the attitude, rapping the solitude and the clapping the gratitude. See the metropolitan monopoly, honestly no apology. A constellation policy of properly seeking sovereignty. I'm navigating the shattered, gravitating the matters. The pattern of the rain scatters, the brain in the platters. Cerebral sanctuary, a temporary adversary, legendary visionary in a stationary library. From the navigator, the data translator, the radiator hissing like a traitor instigator. Check the optics in the pockets of the topics. Toxic microscopics from the Arctic to the tropics. I'm a monumental, mental, instrumental and gentle, a transcendental rental in the fundamental temple. The city's pity is gritty, a hidden treaty. I'm sitting pretty in the timidity of the witty. It's the frequency of the decency recently in the sequency, fluently and truantly, pursuantly to the lucency.
The social architecture, the cathedral, the social architecture.
Yeah. The cathedral is made of iron, brick, and cold pressed steel, where the only thing that's sacred is the way the tires feel. I'm driving past the prophets on the corner of the block who sell the timeless truths for a minute on the clock. Brooklyn is a scripture that we're writing in the dark, leaving every tire track as a permanent mark. I see the shadows of the steeples leaning over the BQE, asking what's the price of a man who's finally free. We're the choir of the God of the saints of the exhaust, calculating the victory regardless of the cost. I don't need a pulpit, I just need a full tank and the 12-bit rhythm that I can take to the bank. It's the DNA of the struggle, the marrow in the spine, a masterpiece of survival on the jagged edge line. One hand on the spirit, one hand on the steel, making sure the world knows that the vision is real.
The social architecture, the cathedral, the social architecture.
Anatomy strategy, a catastrophic tragedy. Actually, the faculty of mastering the mastery. I'm regulating the valve, calculating the solve, manipulating the salve. While the problems evolve, systematic, static, diplomatic, erratic, autocratic, addict. The mechanic is emphatic. I'm the carbon monoxide, the hardened on the inside, the star glider, a fall wide, a dark rider. I write for the right. In the light of the night, I sight of a mic in a tight little flight. Metabolic, brolic, symbolic and diabolic. Melancholic, logic, alcoholic, and apostolic. Brooklyn DNA, it's the spark in the leg, giving every driver exactly what they need. One more lap round the cathedral of the street until the asphalt and the horizon finally meet.
In the cathedral of the concrete coast, we find the truth and nothing else. The city is a
Real. Check it out. Yeah. Check it. Check the vibration. Vibration starts the engine. Engine is dimension. Mention of the tension. Tension in the clutch. Clutch the shift to tight. Tight against the dark. Dark comes the light. Light hits the chrome. Chrome reflects the home. Home is where the ghosts go. Ghosts begin to roam. Roam through the sector of the soul. The soul inside the iron. Iron takes control. I'm cruising past the ruins of a theater on Grand, where the legends used to whisper with the mic in their hand. The dashboard's a calendar, counting back the days. Through the blunt smoke, memory in the 12-bit haze. I see my younger self standing on the corner of gates, watching all the heavyweights succumb to their fates. I don't tap the brakes, I just let the history slide. With the spirit of the ancestors hitching a ride. It's oxygen and iron, the breath in the frame. In a city where the players always change, but the game is the same. Metabolic, frolic, symbolic, and diabolic. Melancholic, logic, alcoholic, and apostolic. I'm regulating the valve, calculating the solve, manipulating the salve while the problems evolve. Systematic, static, diplomatic, erratic, autocratic, addict. The mechanic is emphatic. I'm the carbon monoxide, the hardened on the inside. The star glider, a far wider, dark rider.
A Dachna combustion, the eruption of the truth. Spending all my wisdom just to buy back my youth. The tires are the pen, and the asphalt is the page. Writing Brooklyn scriptures from inside of this cage.
The 1200 rhythm is the heart of the beast. From the belly of the west to the lungs of the east. Brooklyn DNA, it's the spark in the lead, giving every driver exactly what they need. So let the vibraphone ring through the empty intersections while I'm driving through a maze of my own reflections. One hand on the iron, one hand on the air, finding all the answers that will never really air. Oxygen and iron, we're breathing in the rust, turning all the memories in the diamond plate dust. Real. Yeah. Yo. Breathing. Brooklyn breathing, beating beneath the bodywork. Shadows sliding, silent where the sorrow spurt. Concrete cadence, clacking like the chronicle. Heavy-headed habit, haunted and harmonical. I'm flipping the frequency, feeling the friction. A pavement poet with the polished prediction. The rhythm is rugged, rolling through the rust. Diamonds in the darkness, dancing in the dust. The organ swells like a lung full of Brooklyn air. While I'm looking in the mirror at the ghost standing there, I'm driving through the style where the brownstone speak in the language of the weary and the tongue for the weak. The tires hum a hymn to the hustlers on the block. We time their entire lives to the ticking of the clock. I see the red lights bleeding on the dashboard glass, watching 20 years of history in the minute pass. It's a requiem on wheels, a sanctuary of steel, trying to remember how the real used to feel. Mathematics of the static, automatic, acrobatic, systematic, problematic, keeping vision in the attic. I'm a ghost host, coasting through the innermost, posting the perimeter from the pillar to the post. Cerebral illegal, the sequel is regal, flying like an eagle over people who are evil. I'm the organ grinder, the soul finder, the final reminder, a heavy binder, grinder. Now Now the pulse is racing like the heart in the chase. Trying to find a name for the lines on my face. The beat free is screaming through the speakers in the door while I'm pressing the pedal to the cold metal floor. It's the SP 100, the beat and the grime. A masterpiece of rhythm trapped in the capsule of time. Whoop on DNA, the organ in the chest, giving you the spirit while the city's at rest. So at the ham and howl at the midnight moon while I'm humming the notes of a forgotten tune. One hand on the wheel, one hand on the soul, finding the pieces that make us feel whole. Organ grind is dosed, we're fading in the gray, driving through the memory into the light of day. Into the light of day. I pushed the heavy hatch, stepped onto the tar, leaving the honking and the noise of the car. Up here the air is thin, the smell of grain is thick. Watching old man Charlie do his favorite trick. He opened up the latch, let the flock hit the sky. A cloud of gray and white in the blink of an eye. He said, look down at the rats in the maze on the ground, chasing every nickel and the noise and the sound. I watched him stir the seed with a calloused hand, a silent ruler of this elevated land. The sun was bleeding orange over the junkyard edge while a blue bar pigeon landed on the ledge. No pity in his gaze, just the clarity of age. A man who found the key to the urban cage. I leaned against the chimney, felt the bricks start to hum, waiting for the wisdom of the borough to come.
They don't see the lines, they don't see the walls, they don't hear the sirens or the heavy set calls.
Just the wind and the feathers in the open gray, leaving all the trouble of the world away. If I had the wings, I'd never touch the floor. I fly past the struggle and the locked up door. Charlie spat on the roof, said, listen to me, son. The race is never over, even when it's won. You see them birds? They know where they belong, in the place where the spirit is destined to be strong. Don't let the pavement hard in the center of your chest. Keep a piece of the clouds where the weary can rest. He whistled to the sky and the circle started closing, while the entire city was nodding and dozing. They tucked their wings and dropped like stones to the wood, doing everything a creature of the heavens should. I felt the vibration of the landing in my shoes, a different kind of rhythm than the street level blues. My identity is tethered to the coop and the flight, finding the perspective in the flicker of the light. Brooklyn DNA is the peace on the crest, the only place on earth where a man can truly rest.
The Coop Keeper watches as the world goes by, writing all the scriptures in the Brooklyn sky. Can you feel the freedom? Can you feel the high? Safe inside the rhythm of the rooftop light.
Stay up here a while.
Stay up here a while. Stay up here a while.
Stay up here a while. Yeah. Yeah, da 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 da. Yeah. Dead ass, I'm the phantom, the king in the mansion, expansion of the ransom. Ugly but handsome, I push you through the static. Erratic, automatic, dramatic in the attic, smoking on the mathematic. You fake jacks, better back up, stack up, pack up before I act up and rack up. I'm the Brooklyn DNA, the Alpha and Omega. Driving through the gutter like a meat knife and trigger. No censure on the tongue. The ladder has a rung for the old and the young, where the guilty get hung. I'm mapping them longitudes, scrapping the attitude, rapping the solitude and the clapping the gratitude. The windshields try to gaze, the exhaust purple haze. Trapped in the maze for the rest of my days. Cerebral sanctuary, a temporary adversary, legendary visionary in a stationary library. I'm the navigator, the data translator, the radiator hissing like the traitor instigator.
Did you see that?
The horizon is a shiver on a glass covered river, a deliver to the liver, making every sinner quiver. I see the knee waiting on the pavement like an X spinner, while the road is sleeping under a heavy set. Endless the sitar soul, the control of the whole, digging out the spirit from a 6-foot hole. I don't trust the daylight, I thrive in the gray light, navigating the chaos in a permanent stay light. Brooklyn is a mirage, a barrage for the barrage, a concrete camouflage for the spiritual sabotage, where the sons of the stardust, the daughters of the rust, turning all the lies into diamond plate dust. One hand on the shifter, one hand on the cosmos, driving through the dark like a late night ghost host.
We're driving toward the glass horizon, where the sun is dead and the moon is rising. Can you feel the shimmer? Can you feel the cold? Trading in our secret tour about a full of cold. Did you see that? Did you see that? Did you see that?
Anatomy is strategy, a catastrophic tragedy. Actually, the faculty of mastering the mastery. I'm regulating the valve, calculating the solve, manipulating the salve while the carbons evolve. Systematic, static, diplomatic, erratic, autocratic addict. The mechanic is emphatic. I'm the carbon monoxide, the heart and go on the inside. The star glider, the fall wider, dog rider. Chip the optics in my buckets of the topics. Toxic microscopics from the Arctic to the tropics. I write for the right in the light of the night. A sight of the might in the tight little flight. Metabolic, phallic, symbolic and diabolic. Malaconic, logic, alcoholic and apostolic. Brooklyn DNA is the spark in the land, giving every driver exactly what they need.
Did you see that? Did you see that? Did you see that? See that? See that? See that? Do you see that?
I'm shifting the weight of the weight. The weight is the gate, the gate is the fate. The fate is the rhyme is the time is the crime is the climb. I'm climbing the ladder is matter, the matter is sadder, the sadder is bladder weak. I speak to the streets have the beats are the treats are the feats. I'm mapping the longitude, scrapping the attitude, rapping the solitude and the clapping the gratitude. See the metropolitan monopoly, honestly no apology. A constellation policy, you're properly seeking sovereignty. I'm navigating the shadow, gravitating the matters. The patter of the rain scatters the brain in the platter. Cerebral sanctuary, a temporary adversary, legendary visionary in a stationary library. I'm the navigator, the data translator, the radiator hissing like a traitor instigator. I'm losing my cool and my transmission in the night, chasing the ghost, and the neon light. The city breathes exhaust and broken promises too. Under a sky that's a bruised and heavy shade of blue. I see the Doppler effect on the faces in the crowd, where the silence is heavy, but the engine is loud. I'm driving past the yesterdays I left on the curb, with a flow so smooth, it's practically superb. We're scanning the frequencies, planning the sequences, spanning the decencies without the consequences. Brooklyn is a vector and a specter, a protector, a concrete nectar for the soul collector. I don't break for the fakes, I'll escape what it takes, avoiding the snakes and the high-level stakes. It's the DNA of the motion, the pulse of the drive, the only reason that the spirit is still alive. Anatomy of strategy, a catastrophic tragedy. Actually, the faculty of mastering the mastery. I'm regulating the valve, calculating the solve, manipulating the solve while the problems evolve. Systematic, static, diplomatic, erratic, autocratic, addict. The mechanic is emphatic. I'm the carbon monoxide, the hardened on the inside. The star glider, the far wider, dark rider. Check the optics in the pockets of the topics. Toxic microscopics from the Arctic to the tropics. I write for the right in the light of the night. A sight of the might in the tight little flight. Metabolic, frolic, symbolic, and diabolic. Melancholic, logic, alcoholic, and apostolic. Brooklyn DNA is the spark in the lead. Giving every driver exactly what they need. One more lap round the block for the ones who remain. Keeping the vision pure and the legacy unstained.
Catch the echo as it passes you by. Under the weight of the Brooklyn sky. We're moving targets, we're ghosts on the run, driving toward the shadow of the morning sun. Did you hear that shit? Stay in motion, motion. Stay in motion, motion. Stay in motion.
Dead ass, I'm the curling, the voltage in the vein, pushing through the puddle, dancing in the rain. I'm wired to the socket, the rocket in the pocket, locking every profit and I'm never gonna stock it. The riches better back up, I see the static rising. Brooklyn is the vessel and the hustle's energizing. I'm a live wire, fire in the freezer, a street level scholar, a concrete believer. No switch, I'm on the lyrics, I spit it like I live it. If the world is taking everything, I'm here to never give it. I'm mapping the longitude, scrapping the attitude, rapping the solitude and the clapping the gratitude. The BQE is glowing like a circuit in the dark, leaving everybody with a permanent mark. Cerebral sanctuary, a temporary adversary, legendary visionary in a stationary library. I'm the navigator, the data translator, the radiator hissing like a traitor, instigator.
The city's got a fever, you can feel it in the grid. Between unspoken secrets and the history we hid, I see the transformers bleeding oil on the street, while the Con-Ed workers try to measure the heat. This ain't a game, it's a vault, a mechanic confession, a long-range vision for an urban obsession. I'm climbing the pylons, touching the sky with a lo-fi frequency and a bloodshot eye.
Brooklyn is electric, the pulse is erratic, filtering the wisdom through the heavy set static. We're the sons of the surge, the daughters of the watt, taking every single piece of the glory we got. I don't trust the meters, I trust the vibration, the unfiltered truth of a stunted generation. One hand on the breakup, one hand on the soul, keeping the power while I'm losing control.
An anatomy, a strategy, a catastrophic tragedy. Actually, the faculty of mastering the master.
I'm regulating the valve, calculating the solve, manipulating the salve while the problems evolve. Systematic, static, diplomatic, erratic, autocratic, addict. The mechanic is emphatic. I'm the carbon monoxide, the hardened on the inside, the star rider, a far wider, dark rider. Check the octets in the pockets of the topics. Toxic microscopics from the Arctic to the tropics. I write for the right in the light of the night, a sight of the mic in a tight little flight. Metabolic, frolic, symbolic, and diabolic. Melancholic, logic, alcoholic, and apostolic. Brooklyn DNA is parking the lead, feeding every circuit with the words that they need. One more lap round the vote before the fuses all blow. Watching the entire world start to brighten and glow.
With a pulse in the wide, a heat in the cold. the surge, yeah. Then you feel the light. We're the only ones awake in the middle of the night. Oh, 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 yeah. We're the pulse in the wire. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we're the pulse in the wire. Oh.
Time to face the time, I'm a mind in the mind. Trying to find a better find while I'm blind to the blind. I'm on the mind, leaving the behind. A kind of soul with a grind to grind. I'm the meticulous, ridiculous, conspicuous, and vicarious. Navigating the precarious. My delivery is multifarious. I'm mapping out the stratosphere, trapping all the atmosphere, gapping every past fear, clapping for the last tier. Architectural texture, a conjecture of pressure. Invested your gesture in the measure of fresher.
I'm the last light on the street.
Walking to the rhythm of the beat.
The city is a mirror, can't you see?
Reflecting everything I'm meant to be. I see the yellow calves prowling like hungry wolves in the rain, looking for a fare to help them forget the daily strain. I'm just a silhouette behind the tinted glass of the soul, watching the chaos of the borough take its heavy toll. The street lights are halos for the sakes of the night shift, giving the weary mind a much needed spiritual lift. It's not about the destination, it's the quality of the ride. With the spirit of the 90s burning like a flame inside. No ego, no jewelry, just the weight of the words flying through the concrete canyon like a flight of birds. Categorical, oracle, historical, rhetorical, metaphorical, deplorable. The story so memorable, I'm regulating the valve, calculating the solve, manipulating the sound. While the problems evolve, cerebral sanctuary, a temporary adversary, legendary visionary in a stationary library. I'm the navigator, the human nature translator, the radiator, hissing like the traitor instigator. Yeah, back in the pocket like a key in the ignition of the mind. Leaving all the static in the background noise behind. The harp is the grace, but the drums are the grit. And I'm the one making sure the whole puzzle's a fit. It's the SP1200, the soul of the 94. Walking through the shadows to the industry door. Brooklyn DNA, it's the light that never fades. Surviving through the darkness in the heavy set shade. So let the last light flicker on the corner of the block, while I'm keeping perfect time with the ticking of the clock. One hand on the light, one hand on the dark, leaving my signature in a permanent mark. The last light, it's the hope that we keep while the rest of the world is falling fast asleep.
Stay awake, see the vision. 7, 8, we're the last ones.
Yeah.
Anatomy.
Word. Dead ass in the cipher, the sniper is hyper. Swiper, the viper, the light in the piper. I'm pushing the weight, the fate of the state. Navigate the gate where the apes instigate. See the steez in the breeze, Brooklyn on his knees. Squeeze the sleeves till the enemies freeze. I'm a ghost on the block, locking the clock, shocking the stock with the rock in the sock. Real tap, no chatter. The splatter won't matter when the batter is thick and the patter get fatter. I'm mapping the longitudes, scrapping the attitudes, rapping the solitude and the clapping the gratitude. The BQE's the vein, the stain of the pain, driving through the rain just to drain off the brain. Cerebral sanctuary, a temporary adversary, legendary visionary in a stationary library. I'm the navigator, the data translator, the radiator hissing like a traitor instigator.
The midnight grinds, it just shifts to the shadows between the empty projects and the shallow water shallows. I see the knuckleheads chasing the ghost of a stack with a target on the chest and a knife in the back. Brooklyn is buck, no luck, just the pluck, avoiding the pigs and the sanitation truck. I'm selling the vision, the precision, the fission, a midnight decision without the permission. We're the shadow merchants, the urban insurgents, handling the burdens and the spiritual emergence. I don't trust the neon, I trust the concrete and the rhythm of the hustle on the one-way street. It's the DNA of the grind, the marrow in the bone, a masterpiece of struggle that I claim is my own. One hand on the shifter, one hand on the truth, spending all my wisdom just to salvage my youth. anatomy is strategy, a catastrophic tragedy. Actually, the faculty of mastering the mastery. I'm regulating the valve, calculating the solve, manipulating the sound while the problems evolve.
Systematic, static, diplomatic, erratic, autocratic, addict, the mechanic is emphatic. I'm the carbon monoxide, the ardent on the U side, the star glider, a far wider, dark wider. Hit the optics in the pockets of the tropics. Toxic microscopics from the arctic to the tropics. I write for the right in the light of the night. A sight of the mic in the tight little flight. Metabolic, phallic, symbolic, and diabolic, melancholic logic, alcoholic and apostolic. Looking DNA's the spark in the lead, giving every driver exactly what they need. One more lap round the block for the lost and the found, keeping the vision level while we're underground.
Buying and selling the soul in the dark, leaving a jagged and purling in mark. The shadow market never really sleeps. It only harvests the secrets it keeps. Buying and selling the soul in the dark. Locks onto a soulful theme, but the city knows my name, but it's never quite the same.
Yo, you got a light? The question hung in the freezing air beside a mural of a set with a vacant painted stare. I shook my head, watched the soul come from his lips like a ghost. Just two strangers on a corner where the ghosts gather the most. He told me dreams are like the lottery, you gotta play to lose. While he looked down at the scuffs on his 1990 shoes, I didn't answer, just watched the steam rise from the grate. A solid witness to the timing of a Brooklyn coded fake. No siren yet, just the murmur of a late night conversation. The heartbeat of a borough in a state of hibernation.
The midnight exchange, the price of the soul, searching for the pieces that'll make us feel whole. Walking through the shadow, breathing in the grime, stuck inside the pocket of a different space and time.
It's the smell of burnt coffee and the sizzle of the grill. The way the world stays moving when your heart is standing still. I see the lady in the window watching the avenue flow. Her face a yellow portrait in the lamp like amber glow. The architecture's heavy, those are secrets in all stone, where everybody's crowded but they're living all alone. I'm reading the graffiti like in sculpture on the wall, watching all the empires rise just to watch them eventually fall. It's the DNA of a struggle, the texture of the brick, the way the clock is ticking but the air is getting thick. Philosophy of the colloquy, a monopoly of theocracy, an ideology of apology, escaping the mediocrity. I'm navigating the shadow, gravitating to the matters, while the paddle of the rain scatters the brain in the platters. Cerebral sanctuary, a temporary adversary, legendary visionary in a stationary library. I'm the navigator, the human nature translator, the radiator hissing like a traitor, instigator. Jay. The vibe is shifting like the clouds across the moon, caught inside the rhythm of a different kind of tune. It's the ST12 1200, drinking the soul, keeping our dignity while we're losing all control. I see the first light of morning trying to break the heavy gray. Look, the secrets of the night and never met for the day. Brooklyn DNA, it's the whisper in the crowd, a solid understanding when the city gets too loud. Midnight. Keep it on.
7, 8.
Yeah. logic of the project, a topic for the object. I'm toxic in the pocket like the rocket in the socket. I'm navigating spaces, gravitating to places where the broken faces leave the token traces. See the metropolitan monopoly, honestly no apology. Constellation policy of properly seeking sovereignty. I'm mapping the longitude, scrapping the attitude, rapping the solitude and the clapping the gratitude. The city's pity is gritty, a hidden treaty. I'm sitting pretty in the committee of the witty. The spark in the dark is a mark of the stalk. Leave an arc on the bark when I embark from the park. I'm the architect of intellect, parallel to the intersect. Collecting every indirect dialect to re-elect. Cerebral sanctuary, a temporary adversary. Legendary visionary in a stationary library. My DNA is a display of the display in the day, where the great state of play in a major way. I'm the navigator, the data translator, the radiator hissing like the traitor instigator.
The social navigator. The social navigator.
I see the ghost of a street hustler in the scheme of a vet, counting every second of the time that he spent. Brooklyn ain't a map, it's a manual for survival, where the arrival of the rival is the only true revival. I pass the park bench philosophers with the 40s in the bag, watching the colors of the neighborhood start to sag. The gentrifying coffee shops are brewing up the silence, while the back alleys still whisper about the history of violence. Is it progress, or just a fresh coat of paint on the cage? Another empty chapter on a yellowed out page. I'm driving past the memories of the 90s in the rain, trying to find a frequency to balance out the pain. We're the sons of the concrete, the daughters of the dust, go denying empires that are destined to rust. One hand on the destiny, one hand on the doubt, trying to find the exit before the lights go out. The beat you is a serpent, hate of steel, and the lights follow in the city in the middle of the night. But the heartbeat is rhythmic, the 12-bit is pure, a lo-fi medicine, a permanent cure.
The social navigator.
Anatomy is strategy, a catastrophic tragedy. Actually, the faculty of mastering the mastery. I'm regulating the valve, calculating the solve, manipulating the salve while the problems evolve. Systematic, static, diplomatic, erratic, autocratic, attica, mechanic is emphatic. I'm in carbon monoxide, the hardened on the inside. The spark glider, a far wider, dark rider. Check the optics in the pockets of the topics. Toxic microscopics from the Arctic to the tropics. I'm the navigator, the generator, the liberator, the indicator, the narrator, the creator. I write for the right in the light of the night, a sight of the might in a tight little flight. Metabolic, frolic, symbolic, and diabolic, melancholic, logic, biolic, and apostolic. Took when DNA, the double helix in the wine. Walking through the layers of a different space and time. One more lap round the block for the runs be lost. Counting up the victory regardless of the cost.
We are the eye, driving through the ink of the night until we find the light.
Take the pulse. Don't start the car. 718. We're 15 deep and just starting.
I'm a beast, in the least, from the east, for the feast. Navigate the aggregate, calibrate the magistrate, calculate the gravity, escaping the depravity. I'm mapping the longitude, scrapping the attitude, rapping the solitude and the clapping of gratitude. But the curling is heavy, I'm holding the levee, steady like the 94 Chevy, waiting for the world to be ready.
I'm the navigator, the data translator, the radiator hissing like a traitor instigator. See the steam rising from the grates like the city's got a fever. A concrete believer, a midnight receiver. Down in the tunnels, the ghosts were painting the walls, while up on the surface, the hollow industry calls. I'm feeling the vibration through the soles of my feet. The unspoken language of a Brooklyn side street. No jewelry, no flash, just the ash and the grit, making sure every piece of the narrative fits. It's the DNA of the underground, the silent and the strong, the ones who've been driving this current all along.
The sun is my son, I won with the one. A ton of the fun till the run is all done. I write for the right in the light of the night. A sight of the mic in a tight little flight. Metropolitan monopoly, honestly no apology. A constellation policy, properly seeking sovereignty. Cerebral sanctuary, a temporary adversary. Legendary, visionary in a stationary library. Stationary library. And we're back in the current, the flow of the deep. Awake in a city that's destined to sleep. The bass is the anchor, the cello is the ghost. And I'm the narrator who loves the dark the most. It's the SP1200, the soul of the 94. Taking the underground spirit to the top floor. Ripping DNA is the vibration in the stone. The reason we never feel truly alone.
So let the rumble fade back into the dark of the track. Once you go this deep, there ain't no turning back. One hand on the current, one hand on the drain. Finding the silence in the middle of the strain. The underground current is always in motion. 12-bit dropped in the concrete ocean.
Afraid, the pulley is crying in the building where the spirits are slowly dying. Between the basement and the 30th floor, searching for a meaning I can't find no more. I see the graffiti inside the elevator car, reminding me exactly how close we are to the edge, to the top, to the breaking point. In the smoke-filled, heavy-set Brooklyn joint, my stomach drops as the floor slips away, leaving the shadows of the lobby to stay. I see a neighbor through the cracked brass door, a face I recognize but don't know no more. It's a vertical hustle, a crime in the dark, leaving a grease stain and the permanent mark. No windows in the shaft, just the grease and the wire, fueling the climb with a desperate fire. Stepping out onto the tar-covered roof, the only place where the truth is bulletproof. The wind is whipping the antenna in the pipe, while the entire borough is bitter and ripe. I see the water towers standing like kings, watching the chaos that the midnight brings. I'm looking down at the grid, it's a glowing web, watching the tide of the traffic start to ebb. The steel pans are hollow like a chest without a heart, tearing the silence of the summit apart. I'm a silhouette against the polluted moon, humming the notes of a forgotten tune. No safety net here, just the bricks and the ledge, sharpening the spirit on the skyline edge. My destiny is woven in the mesh and the great, abrupt and original challenge and fate.
Summit, a test of the lungs. Climbing the ladder with the missing ones. I'm measuring the distance to the ground below. Watching me entire world start to glow. And my street ballad, a high altitude chant. Giving the soul everything the pavement can. I'm the architect of the apex, the master on the peak. Speaking for the ones who are too tired to speak. Metropolitan crown, the jewels are all fake. But the vision is the only thing I'm destined to take. I scope the horizon from the smog and the mist. The lyrical presence that refuses to persist. Brooklyn DNA, it's the will to ascend. Knowing that the asphalt is never the end. One more look at the edge before I descend. Watching me entire city start to bend. I'm a vertical limit, searching for the light. Climbing through the levels of the Brooklyn night. Can you feel the drop? Can you feel the climb? Trading in our gravity for a little more time. Don't look down, the lift is waiting. We're at the top.
I'm climbing the wreck, leaving the chaos below, where the exhaust and the grudge are the only things that grow. The city looks smaller when you're 3 stories up, like a bit of sip in a cracked china cup. I see the cranes standing like skeletons in the dock, frozen in the rhythm of the ticking of the clock. My tires are humming the lullaby in the steel, gripping the asphalt, proving that the vision is real. I ain't looking for trouble, I'm looking for the edge. Driving on the limit, balancing on the ledge. The sky is a blanket of soot and dark gray, swallowing the remains of a hard-fought day. I see the lights of the towers blinking like eyes, watching all the low lifes and the fake disguises. It's a different perspective, a high-level view for the chosen members of the elevated few.
Now I'm drifting over Gowanus. The water is black, knowing there's a million miles and no turning back. I see a barge moving slow through the sludge and the shame in a town that forgets every single man's name. The wind is pushing the frame, testing the soul, trying to break the spirit while I'm holding the control. I'm passing the billboards with the hollow smiles, measuring the wisdom in the interstate miles. No pity, no witness, just the iron and the grace. Running this marathon at a steady pace. I'm reading the scars through the pollution and the haze, finding my way through the elevated maze. The engine is breathing, the valves are all tight. A lonely gladiator in the middle of the night. My heritage is forged with the rivets and the beams. The architect of nightmares and the builder of dreams. Anatomy of a drifter, a test of the wheel, keeping the momentum, all the world is standing still. Or calculating the fiction, balancing the load on a shivering stretch of the elevated road. Industrial ballad, a metallic chant, giving the spirit everything the streets can. I'm the master of the overpass, the king of the height, filtering the truth through the shimmering light. Metropolitan anchor, the cable is strong for the ones who've been waiting for the rhythm so long. I carved out the path through the fog and the smoke, a lyrical engine that'll never go broke. Broken DNA, it's the height of the crime, surviving the pressure when the passage of time. One more stretch of the bridge before the wheels hit the ground, watching the entire world without making a sound. Drifting on the high line, touching the sky, watching the city as the ghosts go by.
duffels on the floorboards. The duffels on the floorboards, bulging with the sin. I like the prints off the dash. Now where do we begin? Your mascara's running. A dark river on your cheek, we don't falter. Now baby, this ain't the time to be weak. I hit the hazard switch, we're blending with the slow. Watching the blue lights in the distance start to glow. We traded in our peace for a bag full of regret. A Brooklyn gamble that we haven't finished yet. Keep your eyes on the mirror, scanning for the ghost of the two people that we used to love the most. The engine's purring like a cat in the dark, leaving a jagged trail. In the permanent spark, I curb the bills. They smell like gun smoking film.
Just drive, honey, get us the hell out of here. Is this the price of the dream we chased? With the blood on the leather and the years gone to waste. I'm holding the wheel, but I'm losing the line. Trying to find a way to make the stars align.
My hands are still shaking, gripping on the gray. Try to wash the paraffin set out of my brain. You said it'd be easier, clean in and out. Now we're chasing the border in the tunnel of doubt. I see the inner space stretching like a cold gray tongue. The final song that'll ever be sung. I saved the bullet for the both of us, just in case in a town that refuses to remember a face. The French horn is wailing like a widow in the night, while we're praying for the safety of the morning light. I stashed a piece under the seat, heavy and cold, a criminal love story that's starting to unfold.
Focus on the road, focus on the page. Everything we lost, everything regained.
Yo, look back,
I'm already gone.
waiting for the judgment
Of the breaking dawn.
Whipping in the rear view,
Ashes in the wind,
trying to forget.
everywhere we say.
Two thieves in the vessel, sailing for the ride, trapped in the pocket of the different space and time.
It's the Getaway Script, waiting in the dark, leaving the soulful and permanent in Noir.
Can you hear the sob? Can you feel the beat?
Two hearts gunning on a one-way street. Don't stop a car. I never will. I see the flicker, I see the flame, I hear the whisper, I hear the name, I feel the tension, I feel the trust, I smell the iron, I smell the rust, I know the secret, I know the price, I roll the rhythm, I roll the dice.
The amber filter on the lens of the eye, a golden picture of the Brooklyn sky. I'm mapping the longitude, scrapping the attitude, rapping the solitude and the clapping the gratitude.
Attention. The light is turning amber. Please maintain your distance from the ghost. The city is recording. The city is alive.
The sodium lamps turn the asphalt into a river of gold. A story of the borough that's never been fully told. I'm cruising through the pockets where the GPS gets lost, calculating the value and the heavy set cost. I see the shadows of the fire stacks climbing the brick, while the silence of the midnight's getting dangerously thick. It's not a movie, it's a portrait in the copper frame, where everyone is different, but the struggle is the same. It's the DNA of the night, the amber in the glass, watching the decades and the memories pass.
I was thinking about the way how the darkness always darkness eats the day. It's metaphorical, historical, rhetorical, categorical, deplorable, adorable. I'm regulating the valve, calculating the solve, manipulating the salve while the problems evolve. Cerebral sanctuary, a temporary adversary, legendary visionary in a stationary library.
And we're back in the glow. And we're back in the glow. And we're back in the glow.
And we're back in the glow, the amber filter on the soul. Kicking the stereo steady while we're losing off control. The guitar is the memory, the harmonic is the cry. And on the narrator under the Brooklyn sky, it's the SB12 found 100 the brick and the 12-bit heat. The heartbeat of the 90s pulsing through the street. Buffing DNA, it's the orange in the dark, leaving the golden in permanent mark.
So let the amber linger on the dashboard of the mind, leaving all the static and the neon far behind. One hand on the light, one hand on the ghost, driving through the part of me I really love the most. The amber filter, it's the only way to see exactly who we were, always meant to be.
And we're back in the glow. And we're back in the glow.
I see the flicker. I see the flicker. I see the flicker.
Balanced on the rusted iron stairs, watching the burrow through the exhaust and the flares. Fourth floor view, looking down at the hustle where the money and the misery are locked in the tussle. I see a stray dog sniffing at a discarded box, while the landlord is fumbling with the heavy set locks. The sky is the color of a wet sidewalk, and the wind is the only thing that really wanna talk. I ain't judging, I'm just witnessing the crime of a generation wasting all their God-given time. I see a hand reaching out from a darkened hall, writing scriptures of survival on the tumbling wall. No glitz, no jewelry, just the soot and the breath. In the neighborhood flirting with the shadow of death. My perspective is angled, my vision is sharp. The play in the street lights like a shivering heart. Now the paranoia creeps like the mold in the sink, making me question every single thing that I think. Was that a siren? Or just the whistle of the vet? Thinking about the value of the life that I spent. I see a shadow boxing with a street lamp glow, moving with a rhythm that the rest of us don't know. I'm counting the bricks, each one has a secret. If the pavement had a soul, a struggle to keep it. The mellotron is warping like a memory of fame, while the city attempts to rewrite my name. I'm a ghost on the grating, a king on the ledge, living my reality on a serrated edge. No pity, no handouts, just the iron and the grit, making sure every syllable is a perfect fit. My ancestry is etched in the rust of the rail, a book in original who's destined to fail or prevail.
Anatomy of the watcher, a test of the sight, filtering the wisdom through the teeth of the night. I'm measuring the tension in the cables and the wire, fueling the ambition with a different kind of fire. Industrial ballad, a mechanical groan, in a place where the lonely are never alone. I'm the architect of observation, ambassador of the height, calming up the meaning in the flicker of the light. Metropolitan ledger, the accounts are all bad for the living and the dying and the ones in between bed. I scope the narrative from the dust and the smoke, a lyrical engine that'll never blow a stroke. Brooklyn DNA, it's the view from me outside, but nothing to fear and nowhere to hide. Bum a grip on the metal before I step through a door, watching the entire world from the fourth floor. Watching from the fire escape, looking
The shattered shades of the streets. A rhythmic rhythm in the beat of the beat. I'm a liver who's living, the giver who's giving the gift. A drifter who's drifting, lifting the shift in the rift.
Is it real or just glass? Watching the ghosts of the past pass. I'm drinking the ink from the well of the soul, losing my pieces to make myself whole. Go to sleep, little city, don't you cry. Underneath the heavy Brooklyn sky, everything you see is just a glass echo where the lonely spirits go.
I see my face in the window of the 24-hour diner, looking for a sign or a path that's a little bit finer. The steam on the glass is a curtain between me and the world. By the flags of a sidewalk are tattered and permanently furled. What's the price of a memory? The dollar and the dream, or the silence that follows the echo of a midnight scream. I'm watching the waitress count the nickels and the dimes, a living relic of the better in the harder times. It's the DNA of the weary, the glass in the eye, the truth that we live by, the truth that we die by.
Who's the king?
I'm the king of the pavement.
What's the cost?
I'm the cost of enslavement. It's metaphorical, historical, rhetorical, categorical, deplorable, adorable. I'm regulating the valve, calculating the solve, manipulating the salve, while the problems evolve. Cerebral sanctuary, a temporary adversary, legendary visionary in a stationary library.
And we're back in the echo, the glass against the bone. The reason why the king is always sitting on the throne. The celesta is the chill, the clarinet's the weight, and I'm the narrator sealing up the heavy set gate.
It's the SP 1200, the soul of the 94, picking down the glass of the industry door. Broken DNA, it's the reflection in the dark, leaving this transparent and permanent mark. So let the echo shatter on the corner of a lane until there's nothing left but a silence in the brain. One hand on the glass, one hand on the truth, spending all my wisdom just to honor my youth. The glass echo, it's the only sound we make before the morning sun in the heavy world blink.
Watch the glass, don't blink. 7 and 18.
I perfume the envelope with lilac and oil, watching the plans of the wicked begin to uncoil. The ink is still tacky on the handwritten note, tucked in the lining of your heavy wool coat. I waited at midnight by the payphone on Grand with the silver revolver, cold in my hand. You promised the future of velvet and gold, but the winter in Brooklyn is bitter and old. I erased your footsteps from the dust on the floor before the detective came knocking at the door. My alibi is woven in satin and lace, hiding the secret that's written on my face. The projector is flickering, the ghost on the wall, watching the mighty prepare for the fall. The safe was a bastard, it wouldn't give in. Until I whispered the names of your original sin. I grabbed the ledger, left the diamonds behind. Some things are too heavy for a criminal mind. I off the turnstile, blending with the gray, a shadow escaping the remains of the day. But baritone guitar is shivering like ice while I'm calculating the value and the ultimate price. You're the queen of the statement, the king of the lie, under the watchful and polluted bookman sky. I stashed the keys in the bottom of the trash, watching our history turning to ash. Keep the motor cold, don't trigger the light. We're disappearing into the teeth of the night.
Did you get it?
Every page.
Was it worth it?
At this age,
The police are circling,
let them spin.
waiting for the chaos to finally begin.
Silken secrets,
Steel and bone,
never together.
never alone.
It's the Alibi's lace,
but delicate trap.
telling the story with the
Brave mix snap.
Can you hear the clicking?
Can you feel the chill?
The city is moving,
But our hearts are standing still. Did you hear that?
yeah, what?
Hear what? I perfumed the envelope.
My DNA's in the way, I'm the player this day. Find a way to the J, where the pay turns straight. It's a mission precision, a vision to vision, a decision in prison, a collision risen. I'm steering the clearing, hearing the fearing, nearing the veering, while the tearing is gearing. The tires are liars, fires for buyers, wires for criers, higher than flyers. Brooklyn's a beast, from the west to the east. At the very least, it's a sensory feast. My car is a witness, it's seen the sins of the borough. The secrets are deep and the trenches are thorough. The steering wheels weathered like the hands of a priest, navigating the belly of the urban-made beast. I see the subway race exhaling the steam of the city, while the skyscrapers look down with no sense of pity. With just numbers on plates lost in the traffic of time, searching for a rhythm that fits with the crime. I talk to the dashboard, it listens in silence, a metallic confession in a world full of violence. Categorical, oracle, historical, metaphorical, rhetorical, deplorable, a story so adorable. I'm navigating the maze, gravitating the haze, captivating the gaze in a fascinating blaze. Architectural lecture, a conjecture, a texture, invested your gesture, a pressure refresher. I'm the navigator, the data translator, the radiator hissing like a traitor, instigator. We're back. Did you see it? Did you see it? Did you see it? Best beat. Did you see it? Did you see it? Did you see it? And we're back in the gutter, where the truth is a stutter, where the bread and the butter is the word that we mutter. The muted guitar is a knife in the dark, leaving a jagged and permanent mark. It's the SP12 front on it, the soul of the 94, kicking down the hinges of the industry door. Brooklyn DNA, it's the ghost in the wire, set in the cold city streets on fire. So let the X they'll leave the in the cabin tonight, until the shadows dissolve in the morning light. I'm just a driver with a map, read the scars, tracing the distance with keenness and the stars. Faithful shadow, we're fading out slow into the places where the neon won't go. Did you see it? Did you see it? Did you see it? Did you see it? It's a monolith, I'm I'm locked in the hollow smith, dropping the follow myth, swapping the sorrow with pure acceleration, a torrid decimation. The lure of the station is a trope for the hesitation. I'm mapping the longitude, scrapping the wrong attitude, rapping the solitude and the clapping of gratitude. The dash is a star map, the avenues a bar trap, stabbing at the car lap. I'm grabbing the spark cap. I see the geometry of the streets and their honesty, a policy of modesty, escaping the monstrosity. 4 doors, 1 soul, and a tank full of maybe. The city's acting wild, but the rhythm keeps me, baby. Smooth like a 96 Lexus on the belt. Thinking about the cars that the dealer never dealt. I turn left on Myrtle, where the shadows grow teeth, and the hunger of the burrows biting underneath. Is it a grid or a cage or a stage for the sage? Turning every corner like a yellow book page. I'm reading the brickwork. The graffiti is the gospel in the world that's becoming increasingly hostile. Paranoia destroying you, the lawyers annoying you, the voyeurs employing you, the toyers decoying you. I'm focused on the hocus pocus, locust in the lotus. The process of the post-test is a protest of the code rest. I see the optics in the pockets of the topics, toxic microscopics from the Arctic to the tropics. I'm the navigator, the data translator, the radiator, hissing like a traitor, instigator. Check the pressure, the measure of the treasure is the leisure, a seizure of the pleasure and a race ahead closure. Back to the pavement. The arrangement of the atoms, diving through the levels of the Brooklyn made fathoms. The wheels keep spinning like a record on the platter, while the physical world starts to scatter and to shatter. I'm a 12-bit ghost in the 64-bit world, with the banner of the 90s permanently unfurled. It's the DNA, the way, the basics, the spine, crossing every border, redefining the line. So park the thoughts, they'll keep the engine running high. I'm the iron blanket of the Brooklyn midnight sky. I'm just a point on the graph, a smudge on the glass, watching all the dose of my past. Guard the past, one more lap round the block for the ones who wait here. Burning every drop of sweat into a gear. Midnight geometry, the math of the soul, keeping it together while I'm losing the whole. In the homicide.